Mo Qing received an invitation from a website called Wanjie Exchange, where he could receive rewards for submitting his work. So he began to release a series of novel inventory videos. Top 10 Uchiha Itachi. Everything is for Ududu. Top 9 Mordred. Rebellion against my magnificent father. Top 8 Jed. No one is allowed to use my father again. Oh, Zeta, your sword is quite good. Top 7 Alan. Lena. Why was Mom eaten that day? With the appearance of scenes one by one, countless people feel extremely absurd. This is the meaning of filial piety in emotions. When the figure holding Frostmourne appeared, the whole scene was boiling for a moment. Felu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Wanjie Video Exchange Website. Exposure begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is this website really fake? Could it be that I got infected with a virus while browsing the learning website yesterday? Mo Qing frowned and looked at the page appearing on the virtual light screen. In the simple single room, he tried to close it with his fingers. But he found himself completely unmoved. Shouldn't it be? Even if there were some interstellar scams, they wouldn't do me a poor guy, would they? Mo Qing murmured a few words. He only traveled to this world a few months ago. Compared to the past, this world has made significant progress in both technology and other aspects. The lifespan of humans has also grown to several hundred years, and the entire solar system has become a colony. Fortunately, the anime of this era is still popular in the past. So Mo Qing started his old profession. He started working on anime editing, but since ordinary editing has already been seen, he always starts from a relatively novel direction. For example, this time, he just finished editing a novel inventory video with a starting point. I was planning to publish on the website, but suddenly my virtual page received an invitation and couldn't be closed no matter how hard I tried. Forget it, let's see what's written on it. Mo Qing shook his head. Decide to slide down the virtual screen and see what's written on it. The information above made Mo Qing slightly stunned. Wanjie Video Exchange Website, specially invited to join. You only need to post a video to receive a beginner reward of 100,000 federal coins. Surprisingly, there is such a good thing happening in the world. Is it purely to deceive people? No, if you can invade a virtual website, why do you have to come and deceive me? Mo Qing couldn't help but squint at the situation. Although he felt that something was not right, he happened to have a clip on hand, and he didn't intend to publish only one website anyway. Many people are doing this kind of anime editing. It should be okay to publish an additional website. As the saying goes, having an extra website adds more money. Anyway, he is not the exclusive video owner of the website and has not signed any contracts with the website. Anyway, first register an account and then post a video to watch. Anyway, he doesn't have any special requirements for this registration. Mo Qing glanced at it. After feeling that there were not many restrictions inside, I decided to register one. Quickly, after he finished registering, he entered the author's backend page, and it seemed that the vast majority of video websites did not have much difference. There are also functions such as like rate, gift giving, and so on. After seeing the legitimate author's backend, Mo Qing relaxed a lot, at least no one would design a website backend specifically for him. Next, it's time to release the work. Although the objects I'm inventorying this time are still equally novel, there shouldn't be many viewers curious, right? Mo Qing touched his chin and then lightly tapped his fingers to start posting the video. And just after its release, he immediately received a prompt message from the author's backend. Ding! The video you posted, Inventory of Comic Big Filial Piety. Starting from Zhibo Itachi, is currently under review. Looking at the familiar words, Mo Qing just lazily yawned and casually ordered a late-night snack from his seat. I plan to treat myself well. As for the status of the review, it is a common occurrence for him. As long as there are no accidents, the review should be completed in 1 or 2 hours. As he expected. After 2 hours, the corresponding website backend message rang again. Ding. The video, inventory of comic big Filial Piety. Starting from Uchiha Itachi, has been approved, and we will prepare for Wanjie exposure and recommendation next. Wanjie exposure recommendation. They should all be ordinary exposure recommendations, but the wording is a bit exaggerated. Forget it, let's see if the money has been credited. Mo Qing shook his head. He doesn't have much interest in these things. After opening his account balance, the staggering income of 100,000 federal dollars made Mo Qing unable to help but swallow his saliva. This is just a short video, actually giving him 100,000 federal coins. Which black sheep owns this video website on Earth? I'm afraid if we keep going like this, we won't lose our family in just a few minutes, will we? Forget it, it's nothing to do with me. Since we have the money, we need to spend it quickly. Otherwise, what if you're just using my virtual account to launder money? No, we have to leave immediately. Hurry up and spend the money. Mo Qing's expression suddenly changed when he thought of this possibility. He quickly got up and walked straight out. But he didn't pay any attention. In the information just notified on the website, there are also accompanying promotional messages. Ding! Wanjie Dimension Exposure has been launched. The currently exposed worlds include Spell Battle, Hokage, Full-Time Hunter, JoJo World, Type Moon World, Ghost Slayer Blade, Slaying Crimson Eyes, and so on. Exposure live broadcast in progress, starting to collect corresponding views, exclusive video comment area and bullet screen communication section have been built. Ding! The video of Inventory of Comic Big Filial Piety. Starting from Uchiha Itachi has been successfully exposed. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. The greatest filial piety son in the ninja realm. Uchiha Itachi. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Hokage World. In the courtyard of the Uchiha clan. Shoo, said a teenage boy named Uchiha. Throwing several swords with one hand and colliding in mid-air, accurately hitting the bullseye. It is the genius of the Uchiha clan today. Uchiha Itachi. Brother, how amazing. I have to learn this trick sooner or later. Uchiha Sasuke, who was still a little bit small next to him, shouted happily. At this moment, Uchiha Itachi remained silent. He stared at his younger brother. After all, there was nothing to say when I turned around and was about to leave. Suddenly, the once azure sky turned gloomy. It seems like it's about to collapse. Suddenly, the wind and clouds surged, and the roar echoed through the sky, tearing the clouds into countless pieces. Revealed the darkness deep in the sky, revealing an astonishingly large crack. Whether it is the 5 great ninja villages or another place in the world, one can see the location of this light curtain, some incomprehensible scene. It caught their eye. At the same time, a light curtain appeared in everyone's eyes. Ding! The Wanjie video website is ready. Start playing now. Inviting you to join and watch, the first video, Inventory of Comic Big Filial Piety. Starting with Uchiha Itachi, begins to play. What is this? Sasuke was startled and sat down on the ground. But when he saw the text on the screen, his face showed curiosity. Is it about my brother? In another place, in the office where Ape Flying Sun / was located, he frowned slightly and said, that kid from the Uchiha clan. What is the big filial son? Illusion. No, illusion cannot achieve this level. In the root headquarters, Tuanzang also frowned. Obviously, I am quite puzzled by the sudden appearance of the light curtain. With his eyes, it's completely impossible to see how this was achieved. A faint sense of vigilance arose in my heart. But this matter is closely related to the Uchiha clan. He actually wants to see what the video inside this light screen is talking about. Ghosts destroy the world. Is this something from another world? It looks very impressive. I don't know what they all play. Tanjiro stared blankly at the video in the light screen. At first, he thought it was someone else's blood ghost technique that startled him. After all, I am still recovering from my injuries and have not fully recovered since the infinite train. In case of being attacked by a ghost, I don't even know how to die. But now the sudden appearance of the light curtain is different from the blood ghost technique. It should be something that only gods can do, right? Although I'm not sure what to take inventory of. But perhaps we can find a way to restore our sister to humanity. Tanjiro clenched his fist tightly. Although he knew it was just a simple psychological comfort. But as long as there is a glimmer of possibility, he will never give up on this expectation. So, Tanjiro clicked on the light screen and squeezed into the live broadcast room. The other few people who are recovering from their injuries are also curious and click to enter the website. Octopus Teacher World. At this moment, in the classroom of Class E in 3rd grade, an octopus wearing a degree costume and a doctoral hat was sitting in the office, looking at the test paper in his hand with a smile and sighing. Hey, everyone's test scores have improved again this time. At the pace of this exam's progress, we should not be far from the goal of defeating Class A. His heart was filled with emotions. I have been focusing on this since I became like this. And these students also lived up to his expectations. Growing at an astonishing speed. However, Salala. The sky suddenly shook at this moment. Kill teacher, and numerous students instinctively look up at the sky. What is this? With the cracking cracks and the breath spreading out within them. Let the light curtain suddenly appear in front of everyone. Ding! The Wanjie video website is ready. Start playing now. Inviting you to join and watch. What is this? Teacher Sha's eyes showed confusion. He has never seen such a thing before, but it seems like it's a video website. Shouldn't it cause too much harm to his students, right? Anyway, let's go in and take a look first. Teacher Sha hesitated for a moment. I couldn't resist my curiosity and clicked on the video to join. In the next moment, the text on the screen gradually faded and finally transformed into a room like a live broadcast room. Thousands of dimensions, endless universe. If we talk about filial piety, it may be countless. But in many worlds, characters who deserve the title of Great Filial Son are rare. Chapter 3. Orochimaru Declaration. Life has no value. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, the entire live broadcast room extends from all heavens and all realms. The number of creatures added is countless. There are countless comments. Hades. This thing is quite magical. Is it a light curtain that links different dimensions? I have never seen it before. Black Tower. It's a bit interesting. It doesn't belong to the power of the star god's destiny path at all. Naruto Vortex. Wow. It looks so fun. Uchiha Sasuke. The first one to be counted is my brother. He must have done something amazing to become the #1 in the ninja world. Zhang Chulan. It seems that filial piety is not a good word, is it? Merlin. Yeah, there's another great show to watch. What a talkative human. After all, humans are not the ultimate creatures to be compared to. Wu Tiao Wu. Alala, what is there to take stock of for a small filial son? I want to see what kind of things I can do. When encountering demons, the king said, it's ridiculous. Even if it's unfilial, at most it's like killing one's father or mother, but there must be many people in the heavens and all realms who do this. Lu Fei. I punched Grandpa, shouldn't that count? Cap. You bastard. Hurry up and come back to become a navy for me. And it was amidst everyone's discussion. In the video, lines of text appear on the screen. Uchiha Itachi in the world of Hokage, his childhood coincided with the Third Ninja War. Having witnessed the cruelty of war firsthand, he realized the importance of peace and also underestimated his personal life and death the next moment. In the picture, Uchiha Itachi appeared while attending the memorial service. He was wearing simple black clothes and stood in the crowd, looking inconspicuous. The young Uchiha Itachi turned his head and looked around. He suddenly spotted a figure. Standing in front of the tombstone, letting the breeze blow through his long hair, his pale face was indifferent as he gazed at everything in front of him. Exactly, one of the three ninjas, Orochimaru. This made Uchiha Itachi couldn't help but feel curious. He instinctively approached and heard what Orochimaru was saying. Mourning for the deceased is meaningless. If death is meaningful, it only exists when it can be utilized. Orochimaru said indifferently. And Uchiha Itachi couldn't help but ask. What is the meaning of life? Orochimaru shook his head and glanced at Uchiha Itachi next to him. It's meaningless. If there is, it only exists when life is eternal. After speaking, he turned around and left straight away. Only one person remained in place, pondering on Uchiha Itachi. Does it have meaning? Ape flying sun slash. That's Orochimaru. How could life be meaningless? As long as it exists, it can definitely be found. Lu Fei. What this guy said is really profound, I can't understand. Being able to endure a day is a day. The meaning of life is to want to live, right? Kukulin. Well, for another heroic spirit, life is indeed something that can be abandoned. Is this the reason why gunmen often commit suicide? Gilgamesh. Puhaha. Even ordinary people want to understand the meaning of life. For this king who has lost the elixir of immortality, eternal life is nothing more than that. Brother seems to have something on his mind, said Uchiha Sasuke. Hokage world. Tuanzang frowned tightly as he watched the scene. He didn't care about the conversation between Orochimaru and Uchiha Itachi. This light curtain. Surprisingly, it can reveal what happened in the past. If something were to be exposed, wouldn't it involve me? No way. We must plan ahead. Tuanzang gritted his teeth. He has many things that are not visible to anyone. For example, it could be a collaboration with Orochimaru, or experiments and some tasks conducted in the village. Once exposed, it is bound to cause a huge uproar. At that time, maybe even the monkey flying sun slaying cannot protect him. Instead of handing over the choice to others, it's better to prepare yourself in advance, even if something unexpected happens. He can also have a way out. Full-time hunter world. Shao Jie is exercising on the island of greed. Curiously looking at the light curtain. Looking at the white-haired boy next to him with some confusion. Chi-Chi. Is life without value? When Chi-Chi heard this, he carried his hands behind his head. Who knows? At least when I killed someone, I didn't feel any special value, but striving to become stronger is definitely right. As a family of assassins who beat up enemies, Chiguei actually doesn't have much feelings about killing people. But whether life has value or not, at least when he assassinates, he still needs to charge a large amount of money. If you don't have money, you're too lazy to kill ordinary people. I see. But what is the relationship between this and the great filial son? Speaking of which, Chi-Chi, your relationship with your family is not good, right? You won't also be called a great filial son, will you? Shao Jie tilted his head. Suddenly, a hashtag popped out of Chishi's head. Just reached out and hammered it up. Bang! Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. The Innate Evil Uchiha Little Ghost. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Amidst the sighs of the people in all the heavens and realms. Next, in the video screen ahead, start playing frames and text one by one. Among peers, Uchiha Itachi is undoubtedly a genius. The vast majority of ninjutsu can be learned by demonstrating it. Once later, the nine-tailed demon fox suddenly rampaged in my village, causing a huge disaster. Due to the existing power that can control the nine tails, only the Sharingan possessed by the Uchiha clan. They were ordered to move their entire clan to the border for surveillance and isolation. This intensifies the conflict between Uchiha and Kiba during this period. Uchiha Itachi joined the dark side with his good brother, hoping to support peace in the darkness. And in this scene, all heavens and all realms, the endless powerhouses witnessed the way Uchiha Itachi became stronger, as well as the eyes known as the Sharingan. With just emotional stimulation, one can become even stronger. This kind of thing is simply unheard of. For a while, countless viewers took a deep breath, amazed by the talent of Uchiha Itachi. What a powerful sword technique. I have such a strong talent at just a few years old. Are all the children in this world of Hokage so outrageous? Writing will eyes is like a gift from heaven to Uchiha. With geniuses like Itachi and Jishue, why is the Uchiha clan not interested? I guess Itachi's parents must have betrayed the family. Then Uchiha Itachi killed the traitor and led Uchiha to become the strongest clan of Kiba. In the eyes of most people, genius like Uchiha Itachi will definitely lead the family towards revival. As for the current situation, it is only a small difficulty in the early stage. Until Uchiha Itachi fully grows, it will definitely help the family rise. Dagu. Using emotional stimulation to enhance energy, I didn't expect humans to have this way of strengthening in other worlds. White beard. Gulalalala. This kid is qualified to be my son. Naz. Haha. I can do this kind of thing too. Every time I shout out that we are the tales of fairies, I always feel stronger. Saiso. Oh, it's really a sweet fruit. I really look forward to his posture when he grows up. What will it look like? Shao Jie. Ah. It's Saiso. Are you on the island of greed now? Teacher Sha. Yeah, if my world had such eyes, even I would find it quite tricky. Will the future still not lead to peace? Said Kienshuzu, the inherently evil Uchiha little ghost. This is me. Did I die in a fight with nine tails? It really disappoints the teacher's expectations. Hokage World. In the office of monkey flying and sun slaying. The old man in the fire shadow robe looked at the familiar names on the communication channel, and for a moment, an incredible expression appeared in his eyes. Shuemen. Teacher between the pillars. He didn't expect to see this name here. But considering the arrangements for the Uchiha clan, he hesitated for a moment. The talents of Uchiha Itachi and Jishue are so high. If it grows up in the future, there are very few people in the village who can compete with it. The eyes of the monkey-flying sun slayer showed concern. After all, he is also one of the masterminds behind the arrangements of the Uchiha clan. After the Uchiha clan continues to grow, what if he is liquidated? Thinking of this possibility, Ape-Flying Sun felt a bit restless. I secretly made up my mind. Let Tuanzang take the blame then. I can continue to be a straightforward Huaying, and as for the compensation for you Zhibo, at most I will hand over Tuanzang when the time comes. He can support one group and then support another. As long as there is still darkness in the village, someone must appear here to bear all of this. Type Moon World. Within the residence of the Ainsbellen family. Big filial son. It's ridiculous, it's just for the sake of justice. What did the mere parents calculate? Wei Gongqia looked at the live broadcast room with an indifferent expression. He is not concerned about the so-called great filial son. What is important is the fourth Holy Grail war that must be won next. Anyway, he must seize the Holy Grail. Realize your own wishes. Bringing peace to the whole world is his goal. On the side. Altolia, dressed in a suit, stood quietly in the room, guarding Alice Field's side, gazing thoughtfully at the light curtain in front of her. Surprisingly, people from different eras can communicate. So, can she find her own timeline when she was young? Let oneself not serve as a king, but let more suitable people guard Britain. Bringing a different future to Britain. At this thought, Altolia's eyes became firm. She stared carefully at the channel in the live broadcast room, watching the content that was going to be played next. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. The Hidden Waterstop. The Stolen Writing Wheel. You are listening at novelfull.audio. But a few years later Zhibo's accumulated resentment towards my village has reached its peak later. What caught the eyes of many viewers was a room, where the two of them, Ape-Flying Sun Slayer and Tuanzang, sat separately. Tonight, Zhibo has another gathering, said Tuanzang in a deep voice. I also know about the gathering. However, Zhibo said it was a sacrifice of the same clan, and I couldn't interrupt. Monkeys fly and the sun slay helplessly. What kind of sacrifice? They use it to incite the hatred of their tribe. Using hostile psychology to consolidate the unity of a clan. This is preparing for a coup for a clan, Tuanzang shouted coldly. Don't worry, Zhibo Zhishui will attend that gathering, and if it's really Zhibo Fuyue plotting a coup, said Yufei Rigian calmly, he will use other gods. It is said that one can directly invade the other person's brain and modify their will without being detected by them. The effect of the technique is extremely powerful, allowing the opponent to be manipulated unconsciously. Below, there is a small line of text introducing it. The strongest illusion technique, other heavenly gods' victory, can be achieved without causing disputes. Each use requires a cooling time of more than 10 years, unless there is a chakra between the 1,000-handed pillars to use this technique again in a short period of time, accompanied by the playback of video footage and narration. For a moment, many powerful people in the world felt a chill for the existence of this strongest illusion, the illusion of silently twisting the will. It's too scary, isn't it? The Sharingan of the Uchiha clan indeed possesses considerable potential. Especially after obtaining the Kaleidoscope Sharingan, compared to Sangoyu, there has been a tremendous change. Other gods deserve it. Speaking of which, the Uchiha clan is actually planning a rebellion, but Kiba village does indeed exclude Uchiha, but rebellion is definitely not possible, right? There should be other experts inside the wooden leaves. It's easy to plan a rebellion like this. A slight mistake could lead to the downfall of the entire village. Although other gods are very strong. But the restrictions are also too big. It will take a cooling off time of more than 10 years, and after using it, relying solely on the strength of the Uchiha clan is still not enough to compete with the entire my village. It's better to cultivate Uchiha Itachi and work hard to support him to become Hokage. Even if you endure it, you can kill the monkey flying Sunday. Emperor sure. Hee hee. This wooden leaf is really a small village, it can't even accommodate a whole clan, it doesn't have any aura. Tanjiro. Hiss. The people in the Hokage world are so strong. Tanjiro. If it's in our world, you should be able to easily kill those ghosts. Uchiha. Ha ha ha. Indeed, it is the pillar that is wrong. If these Uchiha clans had awakened earlier and left existence with me, it would have been great. Red Dog. Humph, it's just a group of guys who intend to rebel and harm the justice of the village. Even if they are killed, why not? Are you all so irritable? Chi-Yu. That's right, we are all ordinary people, there's no need to confront ordinary people like strange people, right? Master, don't you seem like an ordinary person? Orochimaru. Ah la la, Uchiha no Water, that's really a familiar name. I was already very famous before I left the village. The audience of many dimensions on the barrage were discussing one after another. At this moment, the scene suddenly changed. At dusk, Zhibo Zhishui and Tuanzang met. Is there anything, Lord Tuanzang? Zhibo said in confusion. What are you going to do if you use the pupil technique on Fuyue and persuade the Uchiha people, but the village remains unchanged? Tuanzang asked calmly. Lord Huiying has already promised me that it will change. Zhibo Zhishui replied. He has already communicated with the third generation Hokage. As long as peace can be maintained in the village, it can bring dawn. Even if the third generation goes to lobby, the villagers' suspicion of you will not easily disappear. And even someone as suspicious as me wouldn't easily change their mind. At that moment, Tuanzai's eyes flashed with a cold light. Will you also use your other gods towards me? Next up. Tuanzang suddenly reached out his pen and thrust it straight into the eyes of Zhibo Zhishui. I'll take your writing, will I? Zila. After a brief confrontation, Zhibo Zhishui was ultimately taken away by mistake and his own Sharingan was taken away. And this scene made the world's strongest viewers of the video also deeply moved in their hearts. Even if it has the strongest illusion of another heavenly god. It can come from internal conspiracies within the village. But it is unavoidable. How could such a thing happen, said Qianshizu. Alas, this matter was caused by me to stop the water, but the problem with the Uchiha clan still needs to be dealt with, said Monkey Flying Sun / Uchiha Itachi. Stop water. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. The Entrustment of Waterstop. Uchiha Itachi chooses. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hokage World. In the mansion of the Uchiha clan. Waterstop. Uchiha Itachi, who was still a teenager, looked up blankly. Now he has just joined the dark department. But I didn't expect to see my respected Waterstop, like an elder brother, being forcibly taken away with one eye. And it was also done by the high-ranking officials of Kiba, who were the controllers of the routes. Tuanzang. And Uchiha Itachi can't believe it now. My own Uchiha clan actually wants a coup. For a moment, Uchiha Itachi's heart was in chaos, unsure of what to do. At this moment, Sasuke, who was still young next to him, was curiously looking at his own brother. Nissan. Are you okay? Although brother Zhishui lost one eye, Sasuke was also very worried. But compared to his brother, he is still more worried about his brother being implicated by the content in the video. At the same time, several elite members of the Uchiha clan arrived at the mansion and knocked on the door. Please have Uchiha Itachi come with us, they said confidently. Zhibo Zhishui is now heading together to the clan hall. Super Beast World. The Underworld King, who remained silent in the mysterious coffin, shook his head as he looked at the content in the video. This world is like this. Either sheep die or wolves die, weak wolves starve to death, or weak sheep are bitten to death. And now, is Zhibo a sheep or a wolf? The Underworld King said calmly. In his opinion, whether it's the Uchiha clan or the Kiba clan, ultimately, it's just for one's own benefit. If that's the case, we have to use the law of the jungle to determine the winner. The corner of the Hades King's mouth slightly raised. Getting along harmoniously is just a self-deceiving idea of the weak. The reason why the Uchiha clan is suspected is because of their ability to become stronger simply by receiving emotional stimulation, and after mastering the kaleidoscope Sharingan, they possess such unreasonable pupil techniques. As for the so-called monkey flying sun and Tuanzang, in his opinion, they are all a group. The difference is nothing more than who will bear the blame. When there is a reason to take action against the Uchiha clan, they will definitely not miss it. And all of this. They are all for what they call the village and justice. However, what really needs attention next is the Uchiha Itachi. At present, the first person on the list, what did he do to be called the great filial piety son of the ninja realm? Even if it's killing one's father or mother, it's just that, isn't it? The underworld king touched his chin. I rarely have any interest in my heart. For someone in his realm, fighting at the level of Hokage is not worth mentioning. But what exactly did Uchiha Itachi do, on the other hand, aroused a strong curiosity in his heart. One Punch Superman world. The layout of the apartment is simple, and the smell of boiled seaweed fills the air. While Chiyu was busy with kelp, Genos beside her was eagerly gazing at the light curtain. In other worlds, humans actually have this inexplicable illusion. His eyes showed a look of caution. But as a reformed person, I shouldn't have been affected by such illusions. But if the teacher gets hit, then it will be terrible and we must prepare in advance. Janos had a serious expression on his face. His master Chiyu's strength can be said to be the strongest he has ever seen. But ultimately, the master should only be a human, and it would be terrible if he were hit by an illusion. Janos, what are you muttering about? Chiyu, who was cooking, turned her head and looked at Genos with some confusion. Since just now, the other party has been staring at me. Is there anything I need to say? It's nothing, Genos quickly waved his hand. His attention was refocused on the live broadcast of the light curtain, with a guarded expression in his eyes. The screen on the light screen continues to play. I saw Zhibo standing on the edge of a waterfall cliff, gazing ahead at the waterfall, after escaping the pursuit of the root organization under Tuanzang. And behind Uchiha Itachi, he stood behind him. Just listen to Jishue let out a light sigh. Uchiha's coup is no longer unstoppable. If a civil war breaks out in my village like this, other countries will inevitably seize the opportunity to invade, and war will definitely break out at that time. I originally intended to use other gods to prevent the coup. But Tuanzang couldn't take away his right eye. He turned around and looked at Uchiha Itachi. The kaleidoscope eye in the right eye has disappeared, leaving only a bloodstain. Uchiha Itachi was startled in his heart. Yuzhibo Jishue continued in a calm tone. He spared no expense and only wanted to protect the village in his own way. I'm afraid my left eye has also become his target. As he spoke, his palm suddenly moved. As if completely indifferent to the excruciating pain, he directly pulled out the kaleidoscope writing wheel in his left eye. Uchiha stopped the water and lowered his voice. Before being taken away, I entrusted this eye to you, the only friend I can entrust to is you. You need to protect this village and protect the name of Uchiha. Next. I'll leave it to you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. The Cruelty of My Village. Destroy Uchiha. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Uchiha Itachi hesitated for a moment. Finally, he reached out his hand to take Yuzhibo's water-stopping eyes. I have accepted it. Do you have any plans for the future? Upon hearing the inquiry, Uchiha gave a dismal smile and said, if I die, there should be some changes in the current situation. I have already written the suicide note. He is now a genius ninja of the Uchiha clan. Even within Uchiha, It can definitely be considered one of the top 2 levels of existence. If his existence were to die mysteriously, even if the Uchiha clan had the idea of a coup, they would immediately suppress their love for Ali. If one's own death can bring peace, so it would be even better. Wait. Stop the water. Zhibo Itachi quickly stepped forward to try to stop him. Don't stop me, Itachi. Shui shouted in a deep voice. If you were still my friend. Although his eyes had lost their brightness, he still smiled at the corners of his mouth and retreated into the bottom of the waterfall. A genius ninja of the Tomohiro clan. It is truly heartbreaking to die as a result of internal struggles within the village. Stop water. Zhibo knelt at the edge of the cliff. In his eyes, a kaleidoscope will gradually evolved. Due to the death of the Waterstop, the Uchiha clan postponed the coup, but they soon discovered that a new, Uchiha strongest, had emerged, and it was Uchiha Itachi who had just opened the kaleidoscope as the chieftain of the clan, Uchiha Fuyue. I brought Uchiha Itachi and showed him my long-hidden kaleidoscope, saying that as long as their father and son work together, they can. Plus the dark identity of Uchiha Itachi, who belongs directly to Hokage, must be able to seize the opportunity to control the high level of Kiba and complete a revolution without bloodshed. See here. Countless viewers in the heavens and realms have rarely discussed the behavior of the Uchiha clan, and they clearly have their own opinions. Is the ability to write will eyes in a kaleidoscope such a significant increase in combat power? Well, the proposal from the Uchiha clan is indeed good. If we work together, we should be able to successfully control Kiba village. Isn't my with the surname Uchiha when the time comes? Haha. Only the strong can possess power. If the painting that Uchiha Itachi can achieve is much stronger than that indecisive Uchiha Itachi. But speaking of which, isn't Zhibo Itachi the great Filial Piety son? He probably won't be obedient, right? I guess he must have killed his father and become the new leader of the Uchiha clan. In the eyes of ordinary people, Shui himself told Itachi that he hoped to make Uchiha give up fighting against Kiba through his own death, but this was not very realistic. Even if there is a moment of peace, the long-standing feud among the Uchiha clan will eventually lead to a coup. The wooden high leaf layer will never allow the separation of Uchiha. Once the terrifying ability of the Sharingan leaves Kiba, it is certain that it will affect the combat effectiveness of Kiba village. Once you join other ninja villages, it will create an additional major issue that needs to be noted in Kiba village out of thin air. However, as the strongest member of the current Uchiha clan, Uchiha Itachi's will can be said to be a choice that Uchiha cannot ignore. I knew these Uchiha waves wouldn't do anything good when they came together, said Qiansho in front of me, Qianshozujian. Hey! You can't say that. Since you are being excluded, you should find a way for peace. Tuanzang's personality is being taught bad. The existence of the Sharingan, which is different from the power system of mindfulness, is truly magical. Wu Tiao Wu. Wow. You can't miss such an interesting thing. I don't think there's much to look at, is there only this level of strength? Isn't it better to just use strength to explain the result? Not everything in this world can be solved with violence, said Nate. Sorry. I was supposed to handle this issue, but I was forced to let the third generation handle it, said Bo Fengshui, and after a moment of discussion among the strong in the world. There is a consensus that Uchiha Itachi can lead Uchiha on his own and even kill those who oppose him or harm the village. In the eyes of most Uchiha people, Fuyue is just an ordinary clan leader with some prestige. But the Uchiha Itachi possesses the terrifying power of a kaleidoscope. As long as he wants to serve as the chieftain. It can be said that as long as Zhibo Fuyue is convinced, the rest will definitely not be difficult. But unexpected things began to emerge on the screen of light. Zhibo Itachi stands at the place where the water stops and jumps off the cliff. Sorry, stop the water. I can't protect either the village or Zhibo, he murmured. Then turn around and head towards the higher floors of the Wooden Leaves. Reported the news of the Uchiha clan plotting a coup, hoping that the village can peacefully resolve it. But as the village chief, Ape Flying Sun / did not provide any peace plan. On the contrary, Tuanzang proposed a choice. Destroy the Uchiha clan. Ah! The powerful beings from all over the world who saw this scene were all staring blankly. If we don't make good use of the powerful combat power of the Uchiha clan, even if we force one Uchiha to stop the water, how can we even destroy someone else's clan? Is this my village? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Tuanzang's Ideas. Kill Guangyu Zhibo I. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The behavior of my village exceeded everyone's expectations. Because anyone with discerning eyes can see the potential of the Uchiha clan. It can be said to be quite amazing. In terms of strength, it can definitely be considered as the backbone of Kiba village. Being able to serve as the Kiba guard is not something that can be done casually. Moreover, Rome was not built in a day, and Uchiha's plan for a coup was not a last-minute decision. He even planned it 2 years ago. 3 generations of Hokage have been in power for so many years. Unexpectedly, they couldn't find a way to ease the conflict between the village and Zhibo. This my village is really ignorant. The grudge between Kiba and Uchiha began with Kiba's distrust of Uchiha. These old folks in my village probably didn't even think about treating Zhibo equally, and this third-generation Hokage only knows what to say. I can't solve the problem, the person who raised the problem, this kind of means. Well, I can only say that Zhibo should go into a coup. 3 generations of Hokage allow conflicts to escalate. Tuanzang marginalized Uchiha's politics and did not stop him when he was exiled to the outskirts of the village. I proactively pushed Zhibo towards the opposite side of the village, but when the other side wanted a coup, they put on a righteous and resolute attitude. Not many people would like this kind of guy. JoJo World. Kanjo Qingtaro frowned tightly and looked at the scene in the light curtain. Yeah. This group is using the weak for their own sake and trampling on them. Even if the Uchiha clan is really wrong, making such actions will only expose their inner evil. He let out a cold snort. Although Uchiha Itachi has some difficulties. But even my own parents don't trust me, instead they place their trust in Kiba village. This behavior is simply outrageous in the eyes of Kanjo Sitaro. Because as a person, the first thing to protect is one's own parents, and although the Uchiha clan has conspired to rebel, not everyone is guilty. This group is hidden. Surprisingly, he immediately said he wanted to kill all Uchiha. This kind of behavior is no longer related to guarding the village, it is simply for one's own selfish desires, otherwise it would be completely impossible to explain this behavior. I don't know the choice of this Uchiha Itachi. But there are some things that can't be returned after losing them. No matter what abilities you have, you can't come back. So can your family. Kanjo Qingtaro sighed. He hopes that Uchiha Itachi will make a real choice instead of being bound by the will of Kiba. But according to the original description of Deshiaozi, I'm afraid the outcome won't be very good. When the screen continues to play. It was the scene where Uchiha Itachi and Tuanzang were talking alone under the moonlight. Tuanzang spoke calmly and indifferently. Don't be fooled by what the third generation said, but in critical moments, he still chooses to protect the leaves of wood. I hope you make a choice. His eyes froze slightly. It's standing on Zhibo's side to participate in the rebellion. Fall together with family. Or stand on our side of my village, leaving only our younger brother before the rebellion, and then assist in killing all the Uchiha people. As soon as the words fell, Uchiha Itachi's pupils shrank slightly. Kill Guangyu Zhibo. Even in his heart, he never thought about this option. Tuanzang's face remained unchanged as he continued to speak calmly. In order to protect the village, no matter what, it is necessary to suppress the situation before chaos occurs, and be a ninja who can take on a heavy responsibility. Only the dual spies of Uchiha and Kiba. You. No one else can handle it. Are you willing to accept this task? Uchiha Itachi fell into silence. Village, clan, ninja. Struggle arises for the sake of emergence, and how should villages and clans choose? But those who witnessed this scene, the powerful beings of all heavens and worlds, frowned tightly and almost didn't directly curse. Uchiha. This is the village you initially set up in Zhujian, and the chain between hatred and hatred will only continue. Extermination is indeed a bit excessive, said Qianshu in his open mouth. Uchiha Sasuke. Brother wants to kill our clan for the sake of Muye, and only leave me behind. Why is this happening? Hate is this kind of thing. Alan. After all, it's still too weak. If it's strong enough, it can definitely control one's own destiny and lead to a brand new future. Aizen. When it comes to ambitious individuals, they wouldn't easily miss the opportunity. Tuanzang is just carrying the blame. It's really boring. Despite having such a powerful force, I never thought of resisting, said Su Noa. On both sides. Even if we were to be exterminated, we deserve it, said Su Noa. On both sides. Qianshu Zhujian. Has Ri Zhan already become such a person? Did my education have problems, or did you do something wrong again after I died, Kaima? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. The Night of Destruction. Kill your childhood sweetheart. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Final, Uchiha Itachi accepted Tuanzang's statement and decided to unite with others to kill all members of the Guangyu Zhibo clan, leaving only my own brother, when the screen reappears. Zhibo Itachi arrived at the cliff where he had agreed with Jishui. He sat on a protruding rock and pondered for 6 hours. During this period, I constantly reminisced about the past. He thought of his childhood aspirations to become the strongest. And the difficult days of fighting alongside fellow ninjas and fellow countrymen. It's too late to regret now. Because I have already embarked on a path of no return. Itachi took a deep breath and slowly spat it out. After he opened his tightly closed eyes, the afterglow of the sunset shone into his eyes. It's almost time for action, everything is ready. Sasuke will also come home later today. It's time. Uchiha Itachi has made up his mind. According to the arrangement of Tuanzang, Sasuke will practice swordsmanship today because the teacher at ninja school said they will be practicing swordsmanship. So we need to practice more. This teacher is a member of the root pretending to be a teacher. For Sasuke, who has not yet become a ninja. I can't see through such clever cross-dressing no matter what. Under the moonlight of the dark night, a figure wearing a dark combat uniform appeared. He was wearing a white fox mask, leaving only a pair of bright red eyes exposed. It is the Uchiha Itachi. He acted swiftly, traversing the pitch-black night. Moving back and forth between the streets, or jumping onto the roof, hiding in the shadows, like a gust of sinister wind blowing without a trace. Like a killing machine. Zila. As the sharp blade slid, blood gushed out, and the people of the Uchiha clan were killed one after another. A ghostly figure flashed non-stop at this moment. Until in front of a girl named Uchiha, Itachi's movements slowed down slightly. Uchiha stood in confusion, unable to believe what he had seen. Why would? And Uchiha Itachi did not let Quan finish speaking. He focused chakra in his eyes. Kaleidoscope writing will I. Monthly reading Zhibo suddenly stood still. Zhibo Itachi released his illusion into Quan's brain. Monthly reading is an illusion in which all factors, including time, location, geographical location, etc., are controlled by the practitioner. It was obtained when the Sharingan of Uchiha Itachi's kaleidoscope was opened. No matter how long the illusion space of monthly reading lasts, it only lasts for a moment in reality. The fusion in the monthly reading vividly depicts a scene. The family lives a peaceful and stable life in my village. In the illusion of monthly reading. Standing next to Uchiha Itachi is the smiling Uchiha Spring. As if chasing Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha Izumi worked hard to become a ninja. At that time, Uchiha Itachi has become an upper ninja. Zhibo Itachi handed the wedding ring to Quan, who was causing trouble. Zhibo gave up his ninja identity. Marriage. Having a child. Parenting. Children set off towards the future. Quan and Zhibo Itachi slowly aged together and spent 70 years together. And then until Quan Lao died in the moonlight reading. Ha! Whoa! I made up my mind from the beginning. Zhibo Itachi was panting heavily. The kaleidoscope Sharingan, which consumes a large amount of chakras, is a considerable burden for the practitioner. Just like swimming up from bottomless water. The girl in front of her smiled and knelt down on the ground. Thank you. Zhibo chuckled softly. Her voice sounded like an old woman in her 80s. The girl with a smile on her face died peacefully. This scene. Many people from all over the world couldn't help but frown and shake their heads for the choice made by Uchiha Itachi. Wild Rose Naisaki. Damn it. Even though it's my lover, I still took action. Do we have to do this? Lu Fei. Killing a partner with one's own hands or something is absolutely unacceptable. I am also an accomplice in the future, said Uchiha Daitu, Hades. Humph, love can create and destroy everything, but the actions of Uchiha Itachi cannot be considered good. An arrogant person is pitiful, and a person who doesn't know how to love is insignificant. Ultimately, humanity has not learned a lesson, and the so-called peace will never truly come, said the spiritual King Yizong, alas. Ultimately, it's still sad. You know, a sincere heart cannot be extinguished. Friends may have misunderstandings and even disagreements in their emotions, but these are insignificant. Don't give up on friendship, even if it has been betrayed hundreds of times. This is my expectation of humanity, said Esatelman Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Captured Parents. Swinging the Butcher. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A Kind of World. A pale-haired boy sat quietly in the coffee shop. He looked at the light curtain in front of him and shook his head. Is this the choice of Uchiha Itachi, even if he wants to kill all his tribe members, to protect Kiba village? This kind of thing. He's really a complete executioner. Jean Mayan let out a light sigh. He still cannot understand and accept the behavior of Uchiha Itachi. Even if there is a so-called righteousness in the mouth, what is done in the end is just a simple massacre. The old man, who was trying to wipe the glass on the side, instead smiled and said. Indeed, if that's not the case. He will definitely not be called the Great Filial Piety son. It seems that those who can be given this title are definitely not easily obtained by killing their parents. No wonder they are listed as objects of inventory. If someone harms my loved ones, I will definitely fight them to the end. Fan Tsuan smiled, but the corners of his mouth were a bit bitter. He was once forced to personally kill his lover due to the pursuit of the organization. So when Uchiha Itachi performs such behavior, he will have an unwillingness impulse. Although they have the power to protect the people of their clan, they are so extreme that they are simply born disaster stars. RE0 World. Located within a mansion. A white-haired girl gazed at the light curtain like a blooming flower. For the sake of peace, he slaughtered his own family and even his friends, lovers, and even relatives. Does such a village really have value for people to continue guarding? Amelia sighed. Her face is pure and beautiful, and her fair skin is like condensed fat. And as her elf, Parker scratched his head at this moment, showing a helpless expression on his face. Humans are such complex creatures. In fact, even if it is the peace he safeguards in his mouth, to what extent can he protect it? No one can say for sure about this kind of thing. Zhibo Itachi clearly has such great talent, but he actually uses it to do such a thing. The entire family's stance is problematic, so we slaughtered the entire family. This reason is untenable. And in the following screen, Zhibo Itachi returned to the vicinity of the entrance of the settlement once again. He has almost killed the entire Uchiha clan now, leaving only the last family living in the settlement. That is the Uchiha Fuyue family. The crowing of crows could be heard in the distance, and there was no one on the street. The entire village was surrounded by silence. Above, there is a terrifying and massive full moon reflected. Dad is my biggest enemy. This will be a competition between two kaleidoscope Sharingan ninjas. Zhibo Itachi took a deep breath. He stood on the electric pole, his figure flashing as he quickly charged towards the direction of the Uchiha Fuyue clan. Over here. There are no traps, come in. The sudden sound from the nearby door startled Uchiha Itachi. Then he hesitated for a moment, walked forward, slowly pushed open the door, and then the picture came into his own eyes. That is the figure of the parents sitting side by side. Zhibo Itachi remained silent for a moment without making a sound and stood behind them. Really? You've finally come here. Zhibo Fuyue didn't turn back, just said lightly. His tone seemed to have awakened to what was about to happen. I don't want to kill each other with my biological son. Itachi, promise me, Sasuke will entrust it to you. Now facing their son who is about to kill them, their backs seem to be filled with love for their son. Zhibo Fuyue seems to have completed all his consciousness. Uchiha Itachi fell into silence. Don't be afraid, this is the path you have decided for yourself, said Zhibo Fuyue. Compared to you, our pain is only fleeting, and even if our thoughts are different, I still feel proud of you. As the holder of the Grand Kaleidoscope writing will I. It is also the only one within the Uchiha clan that can compete with Sasuke. However, in the end, he died tragically at the hands of his own son, before death. Zhibo Fuyue is still teaching his son. Perhaps I am still too anxious. If only I trusted you a little more. If I had believed your words and stopped the clan, perhaps it wouldn't be like it is now. Perhaps you will become the first Hokage of the Uchiha clan, eliminate the barriers between the clans, shatter the prejudices of the village, and demonstrate your strength to fate. Zhibo Fuyue let out a light sigh. However, there is no time left. Uchiha Itachi finally I can only silently wave the blade in my hand. The audience from all over the world who witnessed this scene. They all shook their heads. Alas. It's really extreme. There should be more than one solution. I am truly a filial son. I am already starting to fear now. Be careful when giving birth to a son in the future. He must not learn enough from this person, otherwise the family will be ruined. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.